Welcome, everyone. Let's jump right in. Today, we're mapping out a really incredible journey of the soul by unpacking a profound spiritual text called the Eternal Buddha. Honestly, if you've ever felt completely overwhelmed by the relentless, chaotic pace of modern life and just wondered, okay, what actually matters at the core of my being, this explainer is absolutely for you. We're going to explore the raw effort it takes to seek the truth, the incredible joy of finding it, and the ultimate path of gratitude. Let's get to it.
The source text we're looking at today is designed to do one main thing: quench the spiritual thirst of modern people. You know, we live in a world absolutely saturated with temporary information and fleeting worldly success. But this text speaks directly to the deepest levels of the soul. It fuses infinite mysticism with crystal-clear rationality. It's essentially an instruction manual for spiritual awakening today, even though its roots go back incredibly far.
The text uses a really powerful metaphor to center us here. It says, like the Ganges River, it flows on endlessly. I love that imagery. It establishes that this eternal truth isn't just some dusty historical artifact. No, it's continuous. It's just as vital and applicable right now as it was millennia ago. We're basically being invited to step into this flowing river of wisdom today. But, well, stepping in requires something specific from us.
Section 1. The Undying Power, Effort and Diligence.
Okay, let's dive into this. Realizing this truth isn't some passive experience where you just sit back and relax. Undying power is defined by continuous effort and life-risking dedication. The text actually describes past seekers who wanted spiritual knowledge so intensely they would have literally skinned themselves just to have a surface to write the teachings down on. I mean, think about that level of dedication. They pushed through immense hardships and battled their own inner weaknesses, laziness, and pride. It's about asking yourself right now, how much do you truly value the truth of your soul?
Section 2. The Greatest Joy, Awakening to Truth. Now, you might be listening to that and thinking, wow, that sounds incredibly difficult. And yeah, it is. But the text shifts beautifully here, because that intense, grueling effort leads to the absolute biggest payoff imaginable. While worldly studies and earthly knowledge certainly have their place, discovering the true eternal value of your soul constitutes the single greatest moment of joy in human existence. Beyond getting rich, beyond climbing the corporate ladder, this spiritual awakening is the absolute peak of human happiness. So, let's pause and ponder this for a second. You've put in the effort, you've hit that peak of the greatest joy. What happens next? Well, you simply cannot keep a joy of that magnitude contained within yourself. It practically demands to be shared.
Section 3. The Ultimate Mission. The Essence of Missionary Work.
This brings us to the external part of the journey. For the monastic order and modern disciples alike, it's a duty to take that internal light and spread it outward. Now, I know that in today's society, people sometimes get hesitant about sharing spiritual beliefs. They worry it comes across as strange or pushy. But the text totally reframes this. Spreading the truth is an act of absolute goodness. Think of it like this. If you secretly slipped a priceless diamond necklace into someone's pocket, would they be mad at you? Of course not. Giving the gift of eternal truth is a massive, invaluable offering. No one should ever resent it.
And to really drive this home, the text uses this powerful comparison. If you saw someone dying of thirst, you would naturally run to give them the last drops of water to save their life, even if you were exhausted. It's just human instinct. But the text argues we have an even bigger moral obligation when it comes to spiritual salvation. Providing eternal truth to a starving, dying soul is the ultimate act of compassion. You are saving people at the very root of their existence, which the text argues is actually even more profound and effective than giving food to the starving.
Section 4. Prescriptions for the Soul, Overcoming Spiritual Inertia. And this brilliantly illustrates what it takes to actually do this work. To take on this grand external mission, we have to look back inward and deal with our own spiritual habits. The text compares the soul's long-held inertia to a speeding bullet train, the Shinkansen. If you're hurtling forward at top speed, you can't just suddenly slam on the brakes and expect to stop, nor can you violently jerk the steering wheel without causing a massive disaster. Changing the fundamental nature of our soul is a huge undertaking that requires a very careful, deliberate prescription.
So how exactly do we slow down that bullet train and change course? The text lays out 3 exact steps. 1. Wash the very roots of the soul. 2. Remove all impurities. And 3. Achieve complete spiritual transparency. Because here's the stark warning. It does not matter how brilliant your philosophy is or how much immense knowledge you cram into your brain. If the actual foundation of your soul isn't clean and transparent, all of that is ultimately useless.
Which brings us to the ultimate prescription given to disciples here. Do not forget your original heart. Essentially, never lose your beginner's mind. It's a really beautiful reminder that amidst the complex mission of saving others, we absolutely have to keep returning to our purest, most authentic, and humble state of mind. That is the only way to keep the soul clean.
So, let's tie this all together. We've been given the life-saving water of truth. We've felt that greatest joy. We've taken the prescription to purify our souls. The natural question that arises in the heart of any true disciple is, how do we possibly repay this immense debt for receiving the ultimate gift?
Section 5. The Path of Gratitude. Bodhisattvas of the Earth.
The answer to that question lies in the absolute pinnacle of spiritual existence, becoming a bodhisattva of the earth. This is someone whose entire existence is just a living expression of thanks. They don't just feel gratitude on the inside, they translate it into endless outward action. They dedicate their lives to spreading the teachings, ensuring no soul is left behind. And by doing that, they are actively working to fulfill the Buddha's original vow, the vow to save all living beings across the earth. It is a life of absolute, selfless service, fueled entirely by gratitude.
So, the crucial point is this. We have to contrast this path of eternal truth with the alternative. Look around at people who possess vast worldly knowledge or massive societal success, but whose souls remain unpurified. They have no sense of spiritual mission. Without that purified foundation and eternal gratitude, all of that worldly success is literally just a fragile castle built on sand. It might look impressive for a moment, but it will inevitably wash away.
Which leaves us with this final, vital question to reflect on today. As you go out there, acquiring knowledge, building your career, interacting with others, what kind of castle are you building? Are you constructing a temporary castle of sand based only on worldly metrics? Or are you doing the hard, joyful work to build a life grounded in eternal truth and boundless gratitude? Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer of the eternal Buddha. Keep seeking, keep reflecting, and I'll see you in the next one.